All right, everybody, welcome to the syllabus, the exciting syllabus. Whether you're in algebra or geometry, we're going to be looking through the algebra syllabus today. There's really not a lot of difference between algebra and geometry, and I'll point those kind of things out as we get to them. But anyway, it's not worth making two different videos. So here we go. Anyway, I'm Mr. Brennan, and my phone number is here. Also my Twitter handle, our class website for both algebra and geometry. You can navigate onto those. My email address, my office number, 126. The office is located about halfway between the LRC and the auditorium. So if you're trying to figure out where it is, that's kind of where it's at. Office hours, you can see me anytime. 6:45 a.m. each day to about 7:10, 7:15, depending on what I gotta get ready for class. That's every day. I leave that for you guys. Afternoons, I'm only available by appointment. So if you need something at those times, just contact me and I'll see what I can do. At least try to give me at least a day's notice. If you try to be like, can we meet this afternoon? I'm probably going to tell you no. I have young kids and they're always doing stuff and I always have to get home and do certain things. So anyway, just know that. Grading policy. By the way, email is the best way to get in touch with me. I check email constantly throughout the day. Then I go home, and usually I don't check it for a while. But then after about 8 o'clock, I start checking email again. So email is the best way to get in touch with me. Grading policy, it is a district-wide decision to round up your grades. So if you get an 89.5, that technically rounds up to an A. So instead of it's really being a 90 to 100, it's really an 89.5 to 100. That's an A. So a 79.5 to 89.49 is a B, and you get it. So there's the grading policy. That's pretty standard. Anyway, breakdown of final grades. Our final exam, your semester grade, 20% of that is your final exam. And the other quarterly grades are made up of 40% of your individual tests. Those are tests you take by yourself. Those are the big ticket items. 20% quizzes and projects. There's not a lot of projects, but there are fairly regular quizzes. Those are 20% each. 10% for a team test. Team tests are tests that you take with other students. You're individually scored, but you work with other students. So 10% for those. 5% for learning target checks. That's your nightly homework that's graded for accuracy. And then you have 5% for miscellaneous homework. That's homework that I just collect for completion. Most of that is like chapter reviews. Like when we're getting ready for a test, I'll have you guys do a unit closure. Basically, that's just a chapter review. Those I don't grade in terms of like accuracy, but I do grade to make sure you do them. Anyway, so the semester grades, it's 80% of your quarterly grade and 20% of your final exam grade. That's the grade that will go on your transcript for the rest of your life. So when colleges look at your grades, that's what they see, your semester grade. So that's very, very important. Required supplies to bring each day. This is one of the slight differences between algebra and geometry, but anyway, let's just talk about them. You need a graphing calculator in Algebra 1. A TIA 84 is really what I recommend. Do not get the Casio graphing calculators. There's not many teachers at North that know how to use them. So let's try to keep those two. Let's try to not bring those, not have those. It is more money for the TI 84, but it's a much better product. So a graphing calculator is required for Algebra 1. For geometry, a lot of you should still have your graphing calculator from algebra. If not, you at least need a calculator with sine, cosine, and tangent. It says sin, cos, tan on it. If you got that, you're probably good to go. But honestly, in Algebra 2, you're going to need a graphing calculator anyway. You use it a lot. So I just think get a TI-84 graphing calculator, and you'll be fine throughout your career at North in math. I do not allow cell phones or tablets to be used as a calculator because of the capabilities of sharing. I don't loan out calculators either, especially during a test or quiz, because if I only have 3 calculators and I have 4 people that need a calculator, it's unfair to kind of pick and choose. So anyway, just have a calculator. It's a math class. Have a calculator, please. I suggest you have a 1-inch binder too. That's for your daily stuff. You probably could buy maybe with a 1/2-inch binder. I know you guys are trying to minimize space in your bags, but what I really want you guys to keep is your current unit of learning and maybe your previous unit of learning, all your notes and stuff in there, all your papers that I have. I 3-hole punch everything and give to you. There's no excuse why it should be in some big jammed folder like this thick. All right. So Anyway, 1-inch binder, perfect for class. Half-inch binder, you probably could do it. Pencils and erasers, I don't care if you write in pen, but I don't give you an extra sheet if you make a mistake or whatever. Just have pencils. So much better in math to have pencils. It's about making mistakes and stuff. So have a pencil, have erasers, those kind of things. Also, a graphing paper journal, like one of those composition notebooks, but instead of it being like just lined, horizontal line, graph paper lining is best. There's just times we do problems on the computer, and it's nice to have some paper to work at. And I like to have them all in one little book. We'll talk about that a little bit more in class. That's what you should bring each day. Pretty low demands each day. What you need to keep in your locker or at home is your algebra book. You actually will never have to bring your algebra book to class. I'm telling you right now, you will not have to bring your algebra book to class ever in my class. Okay. It's nice to have a bigger binder for your locker so that when you get a couple chapters done, you can move those papers into that bigger binder so that when it comes time to studying for the semester exam, you have everything there and it's all nicely organized or whatever. That's what I recommend. So anyway, when you go get a binder, you could get a 1/2-inch binder or an inch binder for your daily class one and just a bigger one to kind of keep in your locker. I try to minimize what you guys carry in your bags. So anyway, that's why I do that. Extra pencils and erasers. In geometry, one of the other differences, in geometry, you need a compass, not like a compass to like find your direction, a compass to like draw circles. And on the website, I have a model picked out or whatever, just something to give you an idea of what you need. So anyway, a compass, you'll need a compass, but you won't need that till second semester. Don't worry about rulers, colored pencils, any of that kind of stuff. I provide anything you need with that. We're good there. Scissors, none of that stuff. Honestly, just look at this list. Yeah, I know the graphing calculator is, it's $100-some. I get it, and I understand. But you're going to use it multiple years here at North. If you keep it in good shape, it's fine. And, your older brother or sister, if they've gone through North High School, they may have one anyway. It doesn't have to be the most current model, because there's like the TI-84, TI-84 Plus, Silver Plus, all these different ones. It doesn't have to be any particular model. A TI-84, I just know it has the things we use. We really need it. When we get to the stats unit, you absolutely have to have it. There's going to be tests and quizzes that you cannot do without it. So you have to have it. We wish I could get away with not having it. But anyway, let's just suck it up. All right, I'm rambling on here. Classroom expectations, you're going to follow all school rules and policies, no question about that. Come to class prepared and on time with required materials every day. Be prepared to learn. The 47 minutes goes by so fast. You just got to make sure you have what you need to do your daily work. Abide by classroom norms created as a class. So we're going to create norms, kind of create our class laws, if you will. You're going to develop that. We're going to make sure we abide by them. Positive behavior guidelines, tardy attendance, absentee, and discipline policies are in your student handbook and will be enforced. So basically, there's no free zone in my classroom. If it's enforced by the school, I enforce it. Ideally, I'd like you guys in your seats with your materials out and ready to go when the bell rings. I like to get going right away. It's a quick way to get on my nerves if you are a kid that's not ready to go right away. If you guys do that, then I let you go right away. It kind of works both ends. Something kind of new this year, so students have had me before, recording devices and photography. Taking photographs and video within the classroom that includes Snapchat without my authorization will result in immediate seizure of your phone. I'm going to take your phone to the dean's office. And if you have 8th hour with me, then I guess you're going home without your phone at night and you'll have to pick it up the next day. Too many issues with kids taking pictures. It's an invasion of privacy for me and for other students. You technically have to have another student's permission if they're in there. It's just not good. Plus, you should be in math class. You shouldn't be doing that. There may be times if we're doing something cool, you can take some pictures or whatever, and that's fine. Just say, hey, Mr. Brown, I'd like to snap a picture of this for Twitter or something like that. And I'll most likely be fine with it as long as it's not a distraction. But if I catch you doing without any permission, I'm taking your phone. There's no warning. I'm just taking it. Anyway, tardies, you must be physically in the classroom when the bell rings. So when the bell rings, you just got to be in through the doorway. All right. You don't have to be in your seat. I'd prefer that if you were in, sorry, I thought one of my kids was coming in the room. You don't have to be in your seat. I'd prefer if you're in your seat ready to go. But anyway, I just want you in the classroom ready to go. And if you're tardy, you are tardy if you just put your stuff on your desk and you leave. All right. It's not like it marks your place. Your physical body needs to be in the classroom. So just keep that in mind. Food. Oh, always discussions about food. No food or snacks are permitted in class unless you have a documented medical reason. All right. Obviously, if you have like a blood sugar problem or whatever, it's a medically diagnosed thing, and I'll be aware of those kind of things, and I know maybe you'll need to snack on something. I understand that. Some of you guys are crazy. I'm just being honest, and don't schedule a lunch for whatever reason, and jam pack your schedule. If you don't have a lunch, if you can eat nut-free, snacky type items, and basically what I mean is like food that's not loud, messy, smelly, distracting to other students. You can have that if and only if you have a conversation with me at an appropriate time and be like, hey, this is my schedule. And, maybe your class shows up in the middle of the day. I would really appreciate that. Food, it's not that I have a huge deal. It's two big reasons. One, it's food allergies. Kids have a lot of food allergies, and I just want to keep people safe. The other reason is food is very distracting. And again, such short amount of time. I don't want to be distracted with food if possible. You can consume beverages with lids in class. That's fine. If I didn't have coffee, I wouldn't be able to function some days, so I can't contradict myself there. So coffee or any kind of drink is fine as long as you have a lid on your beverage. If you spill, though, in class or make any kind of mess, you clean it up. I am not your mother. You clean it up. So anyway, just kind of keep that in mind. Bathroom. I don't have bathroom passes or anything like that. I mean, there's a hallway pass for the bathroom. There's one in each classroom, so only one student can go at a time. But anyway, like you can go whenever you need to. Just be responsible by it, and don't ask when I'm actively teaching. If I'm on the board or really going over something and raise your hand up and ask you to the restroom, not a good idea. That's very rude. I most prefer when students at the very beginning of class come in and be like, hey, Mr. Brennan, can I use the bathroom right before class starts? That's the best. Also, there's work time usually every period. That's a good time to ask to use the restroom too, but not when I'm teaching. That's just rude. And poor judgment on your part because you're going to miss out some learning. So not good. Absences. When absent, it is your responsibility to get your work, schedule makeup assessments, get assistants, etc. In Google Classrooms where everything will be placed. So if you're looking for a worksheet on Google Classroom, I'll have to print it off there or whatever. I'm tired of different systems. I've tried lots of different systems, and that's just what it's going to be. So just know that up front. So when you come in, don't be like, what did we do yesterday? You should have already checked Google Classroom, saw what we did. So kind of keep that in mind. If you miss the day of a test or quiz, you will make up the assessment the next day. You should have been prepared for it. Dates for the tests and quizzes are on your calendars. It's on Google Classroom. So the only exception is if you miss multiple days, and we'll work something out. I'm assuming the testing center is coming back this year. We had a testing center kind of pilot the second semester last year. It worked really well. I can put tests down there, and you guys can take it during any of your free periods. Worked or before or after school. That worked really, really well. So anyway, that's something that I will continue to use again. Let's talk about homework. All right. Oh, assessments. This is, again, one place where algebra and geometry is different. So definitely geometry, be prepared for this. You can keep your quizzes and team challenges or team tests, but you can't keep your individual tests. I'll give those back to you. You can look at them, but I keep them on file. Also, this is only for algebra, not for geometry. In algebra, students can correct quizzes for half credit back as long as you follow a certain protocol. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. In geometry, students, you can work on your team test together an extra couple minutes or so, whatever. So but we'll talk about that more. So that's one place where it's different. Homework. The homework category constitutes assignments that are only a completion component of the grade. We talked about this a little earlier. So this is like diagnostic assignments, like pre-test, chapter reviews, those kind of things, skill builder assignments. They're things I want you to do, but I'm not going to grade for accuracy. I want you to be accurate. Usually I provide an answer key even for those things. I just want you to do it because it's good practice. I skipped that, I think. The Google Classroom in the ebook. Google Classroom will serve as our classroom portal. Please check it daily. And then, it's your responsibility to check it daily. You can't be, I didn't see that. Like, I'm assuming. And so many other classes use Google Classroom as such an integral part of the class. There's no excuse for not checking it daily. Also, I'll give you a login for the ebook. That's why another reason you don't need to bring your book to class. But honestly, we work out of the book. We do worksheets and different things like that. So even in the ebook, you just may just want it for homework and those kind of things. We'll talk about that more as the semester goes on. Learning target checks. This goes back with the homework. There's two kinds of homework. There's the homework you do for completion. We talked about that. And then there's these learning target checks. The learning target checks are graded for accuracy. All right. So like I check them to make sure if you did them right or not. So we'll establish a 4-point rubric for how to grade them. They're always due the next period at the beginning of class. And this is because I end up putting an answer key video online for you guys to look at to help you out when you get them back. I try to provide feedback or have my TAs provide feedback on what to do better next time or how you were incorrect. You track your own scores, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So basically, to earn 100% in each category, so there's different categories of learning. Like in an elementary school, it would be like multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, maybe those different skills. But obviously, we'll have different ones in algebra and geometry. You need to demonstrate mastery 3 times. So mastery is a perfect score. So you need to get 3 perfect scores out of the different attempts you have in each category. And there's going to be 8 attempts in each category. So you need to get 3 perfects out of 8. And if you get your 3 perfects, you don't have to do any more in that category. It's one of the best parts of my system. But you need to self-track for all your records, and we'll talk about that as we go. But anyway, I have an example here of 2 students with a target skill of factoring. So the first student, the first attempt, they got 1. Second attempt, they got 2. Third attempt, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. Well, their best 3 scores were 4, 3, and 4. That adds up to 11, so they get like an 11 out of 12. Which is not bad. The second student, I got a 3, 4, 3, 4, 4. Notice that when they got all their 4s, they didn't have to do any more. You can still do them, and I'll still give you feedback. If you do worse, it won't affect anything. So it's kind of, you got nothing to lose. Lots of students like to do it for extra practice. But anyway, that student would have a 12 out of 12 because I take the 3 scores, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4 makes 12 out of 4 total. Last little bits here. Extra help. Math lab is available periods 4 through 7 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You don't have to even check into your study hall. You can go right to the math lab room in 102 and sign in there. On the other days, Tuesday and Thursday, it's assigned students only. So if you really feel like you need the extra help in math lab, you can talk to your counselor and maybe you can get enrolled into math lab for a period or a half period. Every other Wednesday, is tutorial. That's not the early release schedule. Is tutorial. I don't know the room yet on tutorials for both algebra and geometry, but you go in there. There are algebra and geometry teachers. Usually we have some kind of worksheet for you to work on, a review worksheet. But if you have other stuff, usually we'll let you work on it and help you out. There also is math. This is not written on there. There's Math National Honor Society tutoring. I believe is going to be in the LRC after early release days on Wednesday between 1:30 and 2:41 whenever, or 2:21 whenever students can come back into the building for sports or activities or whatever. We'll talk about that. And then also every Wednesday night there is free tutoring in 100 pods from 6 to 8 a.m. for peer tutoring. That's National Honor Society. Great resource to take advantage of. You can also make an appointment with me during my office hours for extra help. I'll be glad to help you out. Don't feel like you have to spend like 3 hours with me to get some skill. A lot of time in 5-10 minutes, I can get a student really kind of in good shape if they're struggling. So don't feel like, you have to spend a half hour with me, even 5 minutes, just working kind of one-on-one. It's extremely helpful, I think, for most students. I also just put some useful websites and stuff on here. The geometry syllabus will have the geometry ebook and a couple other different ones. But anyway, there's that. So please note, too, that the syllabus does not, it's like legalese right here, the syllabus does not and cannot possibly cover every scenario and situation. Please ask questions if you need additional clarification beyond what's discussed here. Anyway, I just can't, everything's not listed in my syllabus that possibly you need to know, but this is a really good start. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to teaching you guys this year. Have a good one.